Today, we're talking about something that every human being needs, no matter how old we are, what language we speak, or where we live, which is comfort and emotional support. When people experience stress, loss, failure, or disappointment, supportive communication can make the difference between emotional recovery and emotional collapse. Researchers across psychology, communication studies, and neuroscience consistently find that supportive relationships protect mental health, reduce stress hormones, improve immune function, and strengthen relationships. So, support is not just being nice, it is a scientifically proven tool for emotional survival. So let's begin with nonverbal support. Because sometimes the most comforting messages are delivered without a single word. A hug, a gentle touch, sitting down next to someone, or simply staying physically present can immediately calm the nervous system. Studies show that supportive touch lower cortisol, heart rate, and blood pressure. In other words, comfort literally changes the body. Here is an example. Imagine a student who receives a rejection letter from their dream graduate program. They are shocked, embarrassed, and heartbroken. A friend doesn't start lecturing or giving advice. Instead, the friend sits beside them, hands them a tissue, places a supportive hand on their back, and stays there quietly. Even without speaking, the student feels understood. The nonverbal message says, "You don't have to carry this pain alone." This kind of silent support is especially powerful in cultures where emotional restraint is normal or where people feel uncomfortable saying personal feelings out loud. Of course, words matter as well. Verbal support messages include empathy, comfort, validation, and encouragement, but the key is how we say them. According to person-centered communication theory, the most helpful responses recognize the other person's emotions instead of dismissing them. High person-centered messages make people feel seen and respected. Low person-centered messages such as "don't be sad, it's not a big deal," or "you're overacting," actually increase emotional pain because they make the person feel foolish for having feelings. If someone says, "I studied so hard and still failed, I feel like I'm not good enough," a dismissive friend replies, "Relax, lots of people fail." But a supportive friend might say, "It makes sense you feel disappointed. You worked hard and cared about the outcome. It's okay to be upset." The message does not fix the situation, but it validates the emotion, and validation is what reduces shame and loneliness. Research shows that emotional validation reduces stress hormones and increases relational trust. People recover faster when people truly listen. Now, support is not just one thing. In fact, researchers identify several different kinds of supportive messages, each useful in different situations. The first is called emotional support. This is what we think of most often: warmth, empathy, listening. When someone cries and we simply sit with them, and when we say, "I'm here for you," that is emotional support. The second type is called esteem support. This protects a person's self-worth. Imagine someone got rejected from a job and begins thinking, "I'm useless." A friend might remind them of their strengths, achievements, and value. Studies show that esteem support helps people bounce back from a failure faster and reduces self-blame. Third type is called informational support. Here, we offer useful ideas or knowledge. For example, if a classmate is overwhelmed about internships, another student might say, "Here are 3 websites with great postings, let me show you." Information reduces uncertainty, which reduces anxiety. Fourth, tangible support. Sometimes the best support is practical help, bringing food, helping with chores, driving someone to a doctor. Research finds that tangible support lowers stress because it removes real burdens. Fifth, network support. This means connecting someone to helpful people, like counselors, teachers, mentors, or community groups. When someone feels alone, expanding their network, different situations need different types of support. A grieving person needs emotional support, not advice. A confused student may need informational support, not a hug. Understanding the difference makes support more effective. But how do we communicate support skillfully? One of the most powerful skills is the high person-centered communication. Instead of shutting emotions down, we help the person explore them. A supportive statement does the three things: acknowledges the emotion, validates it, encourages expression. For example, I can tell this meant a lot to you. Anyone in your position would feel hurt. If you want to talk about it, I'm here. Research shows that when people feel heard, they calm down quicker, even if nothing about their situation changes. Another strategy is active listening. Eye contact, nodding, asking questions, and not interrupting. Simply listening can be more healing than advice. Brain studies have shown that when a distressed person feels understood, the brain releases the oxytocin and reduces activity in the social pain regions. Feeling understood literally reduces suffering. Now, let's look at what not to do, because poorly delivered support often makes things worse. Dismissive responses. Don't be sad. Judgment. Well, it's your fault. Rushing to advice. Here's what you should do before letting the person speak. Finally, comparing. You think that's bad? My life is worse. These messages shut down emotional expression and increase isolation. Studies show that people who frequently receive dismissive support develop more anxiety, more depression, and less trust in their relationships. Sometimes people think they're helping by trying to fix things, but most people don't want a repairman. They want a witness. There's another fascinating idea called conversationally induced reappraisal. This means a supportive conversation can slowly help someone interpret their situation in a less painful way. Instead of telling someone to think positively, we guide them to discover new meaning on their own. For example, a student says, I got rejected from graduate school. I'm a failure. A supportive listener might gently ask, what have you learned through this process? Is there something you might try differently next time? Do you think this might lead you to a better fate somewhere else? Step by step, the student begins to see the event differently. Not as a personal failure, but as the learning process or a redirection. Research shows that reappraisal is one of the most effective emotional regulation strategies. It reduces stress and strengthens long-term resilience. Support is not one-sided. The person receiving support also plays a role. People heal faster when they communicate their needs, allow others to help, stay open instead of defensive. Studies show that people who seek support have better psychological outcomes, while those who isolate themselves experience slower recovery and deeper emotional distress. Even saying thank you for listening keeps the relationship open and supportive. Ultimately, the purpose of support is coping, helping someone regain balance and move forward. Coping can involve emotional release like crying, talking, writing, problem solving, which are planning, gathering resources, and also meaning making, turning pain into learning or growth, and finally seeking professional support when needed. Supportive communication strengthens every one of these coping strategies. Emotional support is not a small thing. It is scientifically powerful. Research shows that supportive communication reduces stress hormones, protects mental health, creates stronger relationships, helps people recover from trauma, failure, and grief, and increases resilience for the future. In other words, feeling understood makes people feel healthier. Supporting someone does not require perfect words. Often, it only requires presence, empathy, and the willingness to listen.